All right, TikTok time. So this first one here is from the UAF podcast. Let's see what they got to say here.
I saw this post that said women are like, it's not until a woman realizes that a man will communicate with the woman that he likes.
Yeah, a man
and
will
it's like
communicate. A man will communicate.
It's not that men have issues communicating.
A man would
it's
do
that
any and everything y'all say men don't do with the woman he likes.
Yeah, you know how many men.
Did you hear what he just
Yes.
No, a man will do everything that y'all say men don't do and men ain't capable of, and ain't no more men like this. He would do all that without having to be prompted.
Yeah.
And he would do it with joy and glee for the woman he actually liked.
That is 1,000% true. 1,000% true. If a man truly loves a woman and truly likes a woman, really likes where he sees a future with her, he's going to do everything he can to make that happen. With everything that he can to make her feel courted and wants to be in a relationship with him. He's going to do that because he wants to be with her. I remember this when I was younger. Now I mean younger, I mean like, what? 8 years ago? Good Lord. But I remember my friend, he had a girlfriend and he tied her shoes. And I mean, my friend he's a few years older than me. So he would have been like 33, 34. And he was tying his lady's shoe. And I looked at him and I was like, I would never. I would never. I get into a relationship. And here I am. Babe, no, you sit down. I got this. Putting her shoe on, tying her shoe for her. And I said that I chuckled to myself and she was like, what's funny? Because I was like, I would never imagine myself putting my lady's shoe on her and telling her to take a load off for a moment. I got her. Never thought about doing that until one moment. I don't know. I felt compelled to do that. I felt compelled to like, hey, you've been going through a long day. Take a load off. I got you. I'm already down here. Let me picking my shoes on. Your shoes right there. Let me just put your shoes on. Like, you're good. Take a seat. I cannot explain why I did it because I just generally really liked the girl, really loved the girl at the time, my ex, and I wanted to do that for her. And see my friend do that, I was like, I just chuckled because I ended up doing what I said I would never do. And right then and there, to his point, a man will do everything to make a woman feel like cloud nine if he truly likes her and loves her. He will try to move mountains in the clouds for a woman. Now, when will a man stop doing that? Back to the Reddit post, when he feels like it's not reciprocated, when he feels like the lady is pulling away, when he feels like she's not giving back the same energy that he's putting in, he'll be like, all right, well, I'm going to stop. And then eventually the resentment kicks in because both partners start giving 110%. But yeah, right off the bat, a man would do any and everything for a lady that he really likes. All right, next video here. This is from 5.5792. Men want to see girls in sundress.
If you ask a man what he wants to see a woman in the summer, his answer is always going to be a sundress. A sundress. Okay, can you maybe take us somewhere we could wear a sundress to? You have us in the crib, at McDonald's, and at the homie's pad. Where am I wearing a sundress to? The drive-thru? Be so fucking for real. Ever heard of a farmer's market? You fucking weirdos.
Okay, so that sounds like your bad experience, but how about you date somebody who, when they say, hey, we want to go hang out, and you say, sure, and they're like, hey, we're going to my friend's place. How about you ask for hey, I don't want to go hang out with your friends. Can we go on an actual date? As if you're even at that point where you guys are just hanging out, boyfriend, girlfriend. But if you're going on a date with somebody, they should be inviting you to a date and they should be inviting you to your friend's place or going through McDonald's drive-thru that you mentioned, these two scenarios that happened here. Farmer's market, you can say, or matter of fact, if your boyfriend, girlfriend, how about you invite him to the farmer's market? Hey, you want to come to the farmer's market with me this morning? You wear the sundress. He's happy. There you go. The sundress phenomenon, I don't get it. It never been one of the things where I was like, oh man, I can't wait to see a girl in a sundress. But there's some guys who like that, and hey, good for sundresses. Sales are going to go up. It's great marketing. But how about the guys you date? You have them take you on actual dates versus just simple hanging out the friend's crib. Matter of fact, I wouldn't accept a date for somebody who's like, hey, I'm going to my friend's crib. You want to come over? Is this a date? No, sorry. That's not going to work for me. And if he called you high maintenance, if he called you, stuck up or stubborn, then that's on him. But he need to come with a better game plan. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. My pen dropped, so I had to go down and get that. All right. Next video here. Let's see what we got. And this is from Olga.Safari. So she says,
realized about relationships. A guy starts off by putting 100% in the beginning of a relationship. And over time, that will slowly go down from like 100 to 95 to 90 to 80 to 85. And then you notice, and you only notice when it goes down to like 75 or 80%, and then you say something. And then when you say something, he puts back 5% effort and you're content. You're like, okay, he put in some effort, but it never goes back up to 100 or 90 or 95. It just goes from like that 75 to 80. And then it goes back down again to like 70. And then it goes down to 60. Long story short, it'll just go back down to 10%. When it started at 100, I'm not saying all men do this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but as a woman, I feel like we invest more time and put in more effort as the relationship goes on because it becomes more and more serious. Moral of the story, if you're dating a guy and he starts off at 100% effort and you're noticing over time it's slowly going down, I just think that you deserve better.
That is not where I saw that going. I think that you deserve better. What? What? I think you deserve. Okay, hold up. So if you notice the guy's putting 110% in, he's going 100%, and then he slowly starts to drop off because, reciprocation is not there. I've talked about it now, this is the third time on this podcast, talking about the word reciprocation and reciprocating. If he notices it's not there, he's going like, all right, I'll match her energy. But then she's going up from 0 to 100, and he's like coming down. If at one point they might meet each other at 60%, but at that point he's going to keep going. He's like, well, she's not giving enough energy, and I put in so much, I'm not getting it. And she's like, well, I don't want to put in more in it. Yes, the reason why I'm saying like men will put more 100% effort in the beginning because men are taught to be the chaser. Men are taught to be the courter. They're the one courting. They're the one, hey, I got to separate myself from all the other men. I got to show why I'm doing the best here and why I'm the best candidate to date, to marry. That's why. That's that cultural ideology comes into the play there. I got to be the best candidate. Of all the other guys, all the other suitors, I am number one. Choose me. I am your bachelor. That's what's going on here. And what you're seeing there is the lady, okay, she's like, I'm a little skeptical because, who else is he seeing? Or I have other options. I'm working my way through. Oh, he's showing himself a little bit more. I'm going to put a little more in. But she's not going all in either. And of course, he was like, well, she's not going in. I'm going to see a little bit, pull off a little bit. Maybe she's not invested like I'm invested. Maybe she's not interested in me like I'm interested in her. So he's going to pull away. But what you don't want to let happen, when you start putting in energy, ladies, and putting in effort, and then let him know you're putting in effort. When he start giving you something, and then you start giving himself back, and y'all going back and forth, and y'all see like, okay, our love meter is being hit. I'm making sure he feel good. He's making sure you feel good, and y'all have a good communication, go back and forth. There you go. That's that successful relationship happening. But you're like, no, I'm letting him keep putting 110% in, keep going. Nah, I don't feel like putting anything in. And then he's like, you know what? I'm going to go off to do my own thing. You do your own thing. Emily King does respond to this as well. So let's see what Emily King has to say.
You know what I just realized about relationships? A guy starts off by putting 100% in the beginning of a relationship. And over time, that will slowly go down from like 100 to 95 to 90 to 80 to 85. And then you notice, and you only notice when it goes down to like 75 or 80%, and then you say something. And then when you say something, he puts back 5% effort and you're content. You're like, okay, he put in some effort, but it never goes back up to 100 or 90 or 95. It just goes from like that 75 to 80. And then it goes back down again to like 70. And then it goes down to 60.
She reacted to the whole video, actually.
Go back back down to 10% when it started at 100.
If a man does this, it is not because he has a problem giving effort. The problem he has is giving that effort but not receiving any effort back. And of course, early on in dating, that man, he knows he's expected to give. And so he does that, but at some point, he has to feel like he's going to get some amount of reciprocation. Because honestly, that man is just trying to figure out if you actually like him. And if you're not giving any effort back, he's starting to think that you don't. And so why should he continue investing in you if he thinks that you don't even like him?
Case in point. All right, moving on, because she said it well enough, and I already talked about it too. All right, let's see here. This is from the Confidence_podcast. See what he has to say.
This is what I really told her, and this is the fucking truth about relationships.
Hey, yo.
If you're in a relationship with someone, your emotional well-being is reliant on them. Point blank. And that's what I told her to her face. I was like, listen, if I'm single, my emotional well-being is completely on me. I have no one to answer to. I have no one to talk to. And I'm sitting there on the phone. I'm like, listen, but with you in my life, if I am talking to you, my emotional well-being, I was like, it starts and ends with you. I tell her, I'm like, if I'm having a good day, it's because we're in a good standing. If we're consistent and you're communicating and we're good vibes, I'm like, my days are amazing. My mood is great. But if we're communicating like shit and we're not connecting, or you're in a bad mood, or we're in bad moods, or the vibes aren't right, I'm having a shit day. And I'm telling her, I'm like, listen, you don't realize how much power you have over me or in this situation. I literally tell her, I'm like, my emotional well-being is literally reliant on you. And whether you like it or not, that's just the truth.
Okay. I agree with him to an extent, because it makes complete sense. When you're single, you literally don't have to answer to anybody but yourself. It is you. You're doing your own thing. You can handle how you feel. But when you have a partner and you live by the mantra of you are in service of your partner. When you're in a relationship with your partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, you are in service of your partner. If you're in service of your partner and your partner is having a bad day, you want to do everything you can to make your partner feel better. You're going to be thinking about your partner throughout the day. You're like, man, I hope I can figure out how to make her day better. I what I can do to make her feel better. I don't know what else to add here. Maybe like try therapy. Maybe we can try go shopping. What do you like doing? Let's see if we can do that, make you feel better. You get everything you can do to make your partner feel better. And you guys are at odds. Yeah, that's going to play a part into your daily life. If you're at work and you're at home, is not a safe place because you guys are arguing left and right, and so much tension when you walk through the door. You're going to be off your I won't say rocker, but not off your rocker, but off your mojo at work. You're not going to be able to concentrate. You're not going to be able to navigate because you're so busy thinking about your relationship and how to better salvage it and how to make it better. So I do understand that he said like your emotional well-being is, your partner does have some responsibility in that. Yes, you also have some responsibility in your emotional well-being too. If you know that you're in a relationship where your partner is not treating you right and you're not doing right by you, it's okay for you to be like, you know what, I'm going to, let my partner know, like, hey, I don't accept this, I don't tolerate that. This is what I deserve, this is what I would like to have. Now remember, you gotta reciprocate that. You gotta get the same thing. Where you plan on taking from your partner, you gotta be able to give it, like, where you're willing for your partner to give you, you have to be able to give that as well. If you want respect, you want to be taken care of, cuddled, and, feel value, you also be able to give that back to your partner. You can't be like tick for tat, like, well, they didn't do this for me, so I'm not gonna do this for you. They didn't do that for me, I'm not gonna do that for you. You can't do that to your partner. No, that's just gonna keep you guys going to this cesspool over and over again, and that's gonna just lead to the relationship breaking up. But let's say you brought that to your partner's attention and say, hey, I really need this. It makes me feel great when you do this. I feel alive when you do this. I feel appreciative. I feel valued when you do this. And your partner's like, all right, well, I can't do that for you, or I don't want to do that for you. Then you have to say, for my emotional well-being, for my health, and for our benefits, I am going to leave this relationship. You're not a bad person. For me, I'm not in a good spot to be in a relationship like this, and I'm going to step away. It's tough. It's not easy. But yes, for your own sake, that's what you have to do sometimes. Now, your partner does, like he said, they do play a part in it. It's not solely on your partner to make sure your emotional well-being is taken care of. It's both sides, but your partner does play a part in how you navigate throughout the day. We can't deny that part. Because if you're thinking about your partner, if your partner's going through it, you're going to try to be their rock, be their support system, and try to figure out how to way to help them out and how way you can be better of service to them, better help them out. But if there's not a way your partner's like, you can't really help out, then that emotional support system that you're put on being, watching your partner suffer, that's not really fun. So, yeah, I do agree with him to an extent. And Confidence _ podcast. Nice comment there. All right. We're going to do 2 more videos and then we'll call it an episode. So this is from Wavy Ute or Wave Ute. Like, let's see what she has to say here.
Why do men not understand hints? Why do I have to spell every fucking thing out? Why can't you just one simple little hinting at this? Fucking understand what I'm trying to say. I don't want to have to spell everything out like I'm your mother.
Because we are adults and human beings. We don't got time for hints. Hints are games. Be upfront. Be upfront. You don't have to spell everything out like your mother. Do we have a routine set up? Do we know, hey, when we wake up in the morning, we need to make sure we have breakfast out ready for everybody. We need to make sure that we got food on the table. Make sure that the dinner or breakfast is ready to go to eat. And that way you can have something to go. And make sure the keys is like on the, I don't know, the wall on a hook or something like that. So we can have our stuff ready to go if we can just leave in the morning. Like, are you being communicative? Are you being open about it and have like these conversations versus are you waking up and saying, I'm hungry? Okay. I'm hungry. You're a dope. We have food in the kitchen. Versus saying, hey babe, I just want to go get something to eat. What do you like to eat? You want to do dinner tonight? You want to eat out tonight? Like, that's a different question versus I'm hungry. All right. I actually got a good example of this. Chad Ochocinco, Chad Johnson. If you ever listen to the Nightcap podcast, him and Shannon Sharp, him and his wife were beefing for like 3 weeks because of this. And Chad Johnson, he goes off the wall sometimes. But he literally woke up and said he was hungry at 4 a.m. in the morning. And his girlfriend was like, his wife was like, okay, that's fine. Like, you can go get something to eat. And he got mad at her. He's like, well, you better get up and cook me something. One, have you guys had a conversation about like, hey, okay, you're doing the cooking, I'm doing the cleaning kind of situation. You guys had no conversation. You never had that conversation. You just assume that she's going to get up and cook for you at 4 a.m. in the morning because you said you was hungry is ridiculous. I would do the same thing. Hey, you can go get your own food. And what she did, he went to McDonald's and got his own food. And Shannon Sharp said the same thing. You go get your own food. Conversation, communication. Everybody knows where they're at, and everybody knows, okay, this is what needs to be done at a certain time. Hints get you nowhere. You know what they say about assumptions? Assuming. I'm not going to say the rest of it. I guess I can because I've been cussing, but it makes an ass out of you and me when you assume something. Don't make his hints not clear cut. I could try to assume what she was head nodding like this. It's like, okay, well, that doesn't help me out. Like, I'm hungry, which is the one I think of. Then let's say, hey, babe, I'm gonna go get some food. I'm hungry. I'm gonna go get something to eat. What are you thinking of tonight? Oh, I wasn't thinking about dinner, but let's see what we got here. Like, what you feeling? And then you have a conversation back and forth. Hints get you nowhere. Hints are playing games, and we're trying to have open, healthy communication. So hints is not it. All right. Next video, and then we'll call it a day. This is from _ Gwen Thou. All right, let's see what you have to say.
I got a question. Is cheating no longer a deal breaker or what? I'm watching these videos of the trend, things my ex did, and I still stay with him. Frankly, some of y'all need intense therapy. Second of all, why is it that so many of y'all stayed after that man cheated? For why? Why? Because if I was your guys' friends, oh, you're lucky, because I would have dragged you out of there. Things that I consider cheating: texting other women with flirtatious intention, meeting up with a woman without telling your girlfriend, installing a dating app even though you're just swiping and not messaging anybody. And the borderline ones include randomly turning off your location. If your girlfriend asks you to post her and your first response is, I don't even use Instagram. You know what? I'll just delete Instagram. Or even keeping in contact with somebody your girlfriend told you that she didn't want you to be in contact with. Do y'all not understand that you deserve better? I promise you the world is bigger than that dusty ass man. Please, cheating is a deal breaker. Leave them.
I agree with her 1,000%. The one with the girlfriend, like, don't want you hanging out with somebody. I don't like somebody telling somebody, you know, you can't hang out with certain people. We're adults. We have our boundaries. So that part right there is like, no. But that's what she considered cheating. Now, her question is, why do people stay with people after they've been cheated on? One, it's to try to see they can make things better than what it was that caused the infidelity. So they can try to make a new, you know, change things up. Two, it's a lot scarier to be single for people than it is to be in a relationship with somebody. Because at least you know your relationship, you know what the status quo is. You know that you are in a place of content, complacency, and you know, like, hey, you know what you're getting. So just easier to stay around and hang around. If there's a kid involved, people might stay around for the kid. Financial. Person don't have their own money, so they stay around for somebody because they had their whole investment. They let somebody else be their investment, and that person decided to cheat on them. And they're like, I don't want to leave. So those are things why people say in a relationship after cheating. I do agree. If cheating is your threshold, you should leave that relationship. It should be over. It should be a wrap. But those are all people who stay in it versus just getting out. Because they feel like there's no way they can get out. They feel like, okay, I'm going to try to make this work versus saying, you know what? I'm going to leave you. You cheated. I don't want any of that. You go do your own thing. I'm going to do my own thing. If 4 months from now, a year from now, you feel like you've done better and you feel like you cleaned yourself up and got yourself right and don't want to cheat again, all right, I might reconsider the relationship if I'm single. But if I'm not, you good luck out there. I'm gonna leave for my own place because I don't want to stick around for any more heartbreak, for any more disappointment. And that's why reason why people stay in cheating. Now the book, Stay After Cheating. The book, If You're in My Office Is Already Too Late by James Sexton, the divorce lawyer. He talks about like what can lead up to cheating. He talks about how like, okay, well, they wasn't having sex in 4 months. 3 years, they haven't had sex. They wasn't even intimate. Holding hands wasn't a thing. Well, you're not holding hands from him. You're not holding hands with you. You're not having physical touch. Where's the person getting this intimacy from? They're not getting it from each other. Where are they getting it from? And it starts off with like little things like, okay, well, the person stopped doing this. Well, now I stopped putting in effort. And then they stopped putting in effort. And then that person started putting in effort. And they just keep going down. Reciprocation is like the key of this episode today. Reciprocating. But if both parties stop reciprocating with each other, both partners stop reciprocating, stop caring for each other's needs. And that don't even have to be sexual. It can be something like a hug or telling like, baby, you look beautiful today. Or like, hey, you know, I went and got this for you. Make sure you felt good today. You're sick, so I want to go get you chicken noodle soup. Like, stop caring for each other. Those 5 love languages, when they stop building up their love meter, that person will go find that love from somebody else. And versus being I commend people out there who say, you know what, I'm not happy in this relationship, I'm in it, versus I tripped and fell and I end up in a girl and we end up having sex because I fell. Like, really? You didn't trip and fall. Let's not lie. You wouldn't actually, the person gave you attention. It felt new. It felt fresh. It felt ecstatic. And you fell for that trap versus saying to your significant other, I do not want to keep doing this anymore. You know, the thought went to my mind and I need you more than anything. And we need to fix us before we are no longer together. But you're at the point where you're like, hey, we don't want to be together, then we're calling it a day. But yeah, that's why people stay in relationships after cheating because then they can fix it, but by that point it's already, the damage is done and there's not really fixing it. It's to get ahead of it and ahead of time. It's to make sure you both are fulfilling your guys' love meter, make sure you guys both are needs are being met, whether that is, you know, emotional or physical. Make sure you're taking care of your partner, and once you guys are there and your partners both putting the energy into each other, you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. Thank you for watching this episode of Nerdy Dating. I really appreciate it. If there's another episode you want to watch, you can look at it right there. If you want to subscribe to the page and watch more content, it's down here. Also, you have a question about dating, you want to put it in the comment section, go ahead and do it. Or you can send me your dating question to my email of AliZakkaNerdyDating@gmail.com. That's AliZakkaNerdyDating@gmail.com. And I will answer your question on the next episode of Nerdy Dating. Thank you so much for watching the show. I appreciate you, and keep being awesome.